Have you noticed something? That true moments of change in life almost never happen in some dramatic instant. They rarely occur during an earth-shattering decision or a sudden epiphany. Instead, life is often pushed in a different direction by a series of small, unremarkable choices you make every day. How you use your time, where you direct your attention, and what you choose to keep or let go of over time can significantly alter your path. If you don't believe in those overnight transformations, and instead value making your life more stable and comfortable year by year, remember to like and subscribe to us. In this episode, I want to share with you 7 simple habits. These habits are not exaggerated, radical, or life-changing, but if you actually do them, your life will gradually shift onto a different track. We'll start with the first habit. It might sound a bit counterintuitive, but it's called selective ignorance. Let me clarify that this is not about being indifferent to the world or hiding from it. It's actually just one thing: you need to start consciously managing the information that enters your brain. Everyone can know a lot of things, but as the saying goes, no one can master everything. And realistically, some information, even if you don't know it, doesn't have any tangible impact on your life. It doesn't improve your quality of life or help you make better decisions. So, spending time daily on such information is just making your brain more tired. You'll see that people who deliberately avoid news, stop following celebrity updates, and rarely check weather forecasts still lead fairly normal lives. When it rains, they put on an extra coat. When it's cold, they add another layer. The weather doesn't really affect their daily routine. The point isn't that you should copy them exactly. They go to such extremes to show you that attention is a limited resource. When you take in everything and receive everything, you end up with nothing in the end. But if you start filtering, keeping only what truly helps and has a positive impact, and actively blocking out the noise that only creates anxiety without leading to any action, you'll find that this change, although small at first, will make your life much quieter and clearer over the long term. After you've sorted out your attention, the second habit becomes particularly important. Many people set a plethora of goals at the start of the new year, but the truth is that very few of them are actually completed. The problem usually isn't lack of effort, but setting too many unrelated goals from the start. A more practical and easier to implement approach is to shorten the time frame and narrow the focus. You can think of the year as 4 quarters, focusing on only one important thing each quarter. Whether it's starting a business, learning a new skill, or developing a new habit, for the next 3 months, ask yourself one question: what is the most worthwhile to fully commit to now? Other things can be postponed to the next quarter. This rhythm actually makes it easier to make real progress in one direction. When your attention is concentrated, results will begin to accumulate. Over time, you'll find that your life has more direction. The third habit is actually something that many people do every day but rarely think about it clearly: eating. Many people find it contradictory that they spend a lot of money on food every day, but their bodies don't seem to be more energetic as a result. Instead, they often feel exhausted and dull. The problem usually lies in eating too complexly. Food should be a stable source of energy that keeps you alert and maintains a stable body condition, not making you want to sleep more after eating. Later, many people slowly realize that the key is to focus on one simple thing: eating precisely. What does precise mean? It means choosing foods that are in their natural form as much as possible, like unprocessed meat, seasonal vegetables, and fruits. These naturally occurring foods are the easiest for your body to function well. This doesn't mean you can never eat processed foods, but you start to use a different standard. How does your body feel after eating? Do you feel satisfied for a long time, or do you get hungry soon? Is your energy sustained, or do you feel exhausted right away? When you use this standard to choose your food, many things that initially seem appealing will naturally be eliminated. Over time, you'll find that when your diet returns to these real ingredients, satisfaction actually lasts longer, and your body feels less burdened. This is essentially a simple principle of less is more, fewer options, but better quality each time. Every bite you take really feeds your body. Many people worry at first that this way of eating will be very expensive, but in reality, when you no longer rely on snacks, fast food, and packaged foods to fill up, your overall spending is often about the same, or even less. And when your body is consistently receiving good nutrition, your sleep, energy levels, and overall feelings will gradually improve. At this point, eating is no longer just about filling your stomach, but has become a foundation for supporting your overall quality of life. The fourth habit, which often causes some pressure when people think about it, is fitness. When it comes to exercise, people usually think of high intensity, intense training, thinking that you haven't achieved an effect unless you are exhausted and pushed to your limits. But in reality, the place where most people get stuck is trying to make the process too complicated and difficult to maintain long-term. For most people, the most stable and enduring rhythm for physical response and progress is surprisingly simple: 2 to 3 times a week. About 45 minutes each session. This frequency actually makes it easier to balance effectiveness, recovery, and maintaining a comfortable lifestyle. Exercise content doesn't need to be overly complex. You just need to record your workouts, focus on 3 to 4 core movements, and gradually increase weight or reps within your range. This is enough. What is truly important is whether you can stick with it. If your current fitness plan is too extreme or you keep breaking it, a more practical approach is to take a step back and find a new routine that you can sustain for many years. It doesn't have to be the fastest or theoretically perfect. As long as you can consistently execute, time will naturally amplify the results. 5 years later, you'll find that your physical and mental state are quite different. And these changes won't come at the cost of sacrificing your quality of life. This is the fitness habit that most people really need. It doesn't dominate your life, but gradually pulls your physical and mental state up. The fifth habit is related to the previous one, but it's not just about saving money, it's about having the option in life. Many people have emergency funds, typically 3 to 6 months of living expenses, to handle unexpected situations. But above that, there's a more critical thing I call freedom reserve. You can consider it as an additional 6 months of living expenses beyond the basic safety net. The purpose of this fund is to give you options at certain life milestones. When you have this fund, your attitude towards many things will be completely different. You can tolerate a period of income decline, and be more willing to try changing career paths, investing in new projects, or accepting opportunities that pay less but have greater long-term potential. Conversely, if you live paycheck to paycheck each month, your life may look stable, but in reality, your options are very limited. Many opportunities that can elevate your life, such as joining a startup or pursuing a new venture, are often missed due to insufficient risk tolerance. Once you are no longer tied to relying solely on your monthly salary, having this freedom reserve puts you in a much stronger position than most people. Because this fund provides the flexibility to take on risks, giving you the space to accumulate experience, try, and adjust direction, opening up more possible paths for the future rather than just following the path in front of you. The sixth habit is actually quite simple, but can have an unexpected impact. It's called a no-buy month. Many choose January, but anyone can pick a month that suits them. For the entire month, except for basic expenses like food and housing, all other non-essential consumption is paused. No buying clothes, no buying shoes, no acquiring new items, and no planning trips. This can help you slow down and clearly see what you truly need. When you go a whole month without using consumption to respond to emotions or impulses, you will start to see clearly which things are really important and which are just pushed by desires. Many people discover during this process that things they originally thought were non-negotiable have almost no real impact on their quality of life. The real power of the no-buy month is in loosening those habits you are habitually doing but never noticed. Like buying impulsively when you're frustrated, receiving a package and forgetting why you bought it. The moment you open it, the only question is, do I really need this? The no-buy month brings consumption back to a more conscious state, allowing you to reclaim your choice. You can try this for a month and feel the clarity and calmness brought by this intentional pause. The last habit is actually simple, but can have a very deep impact. That is to actively create space in your life. Whatever you do, it can be filming, drawing, writing, DIY, woodworking, or any activity you are willing to engage in. The key is whether you have a stable outlet, allowing your attention to shift from passive consumption to active creation. When your ideas are transformed into a tangible work, whether it's physical or digital, or simply shared, your perception of life will truly change. If it can bring in income, that's great, but the real value comes from the focus and satisfaction of creating something. In practice, you don't need to think too big. It could be completing a small project each week, or producing once a month in a specific field. This rhythm will gradually pull you out of the state of being pushed around by external stimuli and towards output, accumulation, and even entering a state of high concentration, known as flow. For many people, that is a very pure and energizing moment. When creation becomes a habit, life is no longer just responding to external demands, but begins to start from yourself and gradually expand outward. These 7 habits are not complicated. They won't make you instantly transform, but if you actually start doing them, your life will become clearer each year. If this episode has been helpful to you, remember to like and subscribe. Also, feel free to share in the comments which habit you want to try first.